Welcome back. Hello. So this weekend I need to read a book for my local book club, so I figured I would bring you along as I read that. I'm also doing a lot of fall themed things this weekend. It was not planned to be doing these back to back, but that's just how the pumpkins roll. No, nobody laughed at that. Yeah, it's just gonna be a gourd time. Nope, that didn't work. We're just gonna feel great fall for this weather. I can't help it if we're a corny people around here. Okay, this is getting out of hand. Just join me as I read The 7.5 Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle and do some fall fun things. I am getting ready, clearly. I'm taking a walk, and then my grad school is doing a fall fun day for the students. So we're going to an apple cider mill. There's gem mining. I have no idea what that is, but you bet your bottom dollar I'm doing it. There's a pumpkin patch. I think it's just gonna be a lot of fun. It is fall time. I mean, it's like 50 degrees, and yet look at this beautiful flower on the field. Does anybody know what that is? He is so hyper. Sherlock, go on. Go on. As a note, I usually do keep him on a leash. I have a leash. It's just if we know there's no one at the field, I let him run his little heart out. Come here. I am waiting on my toast to toast, so I figured I'd give an update on what I'm reading right now, and that is The 7.5 Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle by Stuart Turton. This is for my book club, and we meet on Sunday, which is 2 days from now, and I'm only on page 121, which means I need to do some reading this weekend. We decided to read a mystery for the month of October. We're going to be meeting at this brewery that was a church and has since been turned into a brewery, so it's kind of a cool setting and kind of creepy to talk about this. The book has been described as a mix between Agatha Christie and Downton Abbey and Groundhog Day, and I know when I read the synopsis I was really excited about it. It's about a person who knows someone's going to die within 8 days, and each day there is kind of like, I guess, my toast is ready, of some magical realism or fantasy in this, but each day this person wakes up as a new person that's been invited to this masquerade. And at the very beginning, there's a little guest list that has all those characters' descriptions, and that's been incredibly helpful. I've turned to the first page so many times as I'm reading this. But yeah, so each day he wakes up in a new person's body and has to kind of use their connections and use who they are to figure out who is going to kill Evelyn Hardcastle. And he has to figure this out in order for him to escape. He's kind of stuck in this game, and there's other players, and it's been a kind of light, posh, like, do you know those type of mysteries? I know everyone brings up Knives Out, but what did we use before Knives Out was a thing? Maybe Agatha Christie, you know, where they're British and they're posh. They don't have to be British, but they're posh, and the mysteries kind of, who done it, you know? It's not super dark, it's more playful. That's how this kind of is. I mean, there are some dark elements, but it's definitely more playful than it is creepy thriller. So I'm, like I said, probably less than a fourth of the way through. It's not grabbing my attention, I'm not gonna lie. I've been having to force myself to read it, and my friend who's also in the book club has also said she wasn't a huge fan of the book, but I'm hoping that I'll get that read before the end of this vlog so I can let you know what my final thoughts about it were. Side note, the greatest thing I discovered, I mean, I didn't discover it, but really embraced from the pandemic, was my love of sourdough bread. This makes the best toast. I'm just saying it now. There's the bakery that I talked about last vlog that I bought the donuts from. They make this multi-grain sourdough bread. It's called Arnie's. I don't know if they ship, but if they do, you should get it because this is the best toast bread in the world. I am so excited. I just got back from Kung Fu. It's Saturday, by the way. And I decided to get some pho because it's so cold today. And I went to one of my favorite places and I got some pho. You heat up the broth and then pour it back over, and some Vietnamese coffee. It is going to be, I guess I can show you, a good Saturday. There she is. I'm gonna put some sprouts, some mint, and some lime. I never use the hoisin or sriracha, but maybe I'll be adventurous today. But I am excited. Yum! I did want to come and clarify that earlier when I said this is a light mystery, it does have that kind of posh kind of air to it, you know, when they're like, oh, hoity-toity. But the content matter is not light. So please don't go into reading this thinking it's light and just fun. I just got like content warning, trigger warning. There, he does go into the body and mind of a rapist, and so that took me by surprise. So yeah, I'm about 196 pages in, so nearing halfway, making some progress. I'm hoping to get some more reading done today. I do need to clean the house because it is a disaster. And then me and some friends are going to an apple orchard. So like I said, lots of fall things this weekend, not entirely on purpose. It's just, you can't say no to pumpkin and apple picking, can you? I mean, I can't. So I'll check back in soon.
I don't like it, but you can't tell what they are. When you don't label the system.
Oh.
So I can sleep, and so I can.
Hello, happy Sunday. So I had a ton of fun last night. Me and my friends went to the apple orchard and it didn't rain. So we got to actually stand in the massive line to get donuts and go see the actual orchards, and it was really great. I finished the 7.5 Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle last night as well. I'm actually really happy that I vlogged my thoughts as I'm going through this, because wow, did my perspective of what this book was change as I was going through. I mean, you all saw the first 150 pages. I thought it was going to be something like, it was going to be that kind of comedic light mystery, like Only Murders in the Building That Show, or Knives Out, or It's the Butler, you know, kind of atmosphere. And then by 250 pages, I was like, nope, that's not it. This is really dark. There's some serious, like, awful people in this house. And I think that's really when I started getting interested in the actual mystery of him trying to figure out who killed Evelyn Hardcastle, and him embracing being in these different bodies. And then by the end, I don't even want to tell you what I thought, or like the atmosphere I thought it took on, because it took me by such surprise. And I think it would benefit if you just went in slightly blind to what the actual reveal is. I will admit that if it wasn't because I was reading this for a book club and I was hosting the book club this month, I don't know if I would have finished it as quickly or finished it at all. I could not get into this book. It wasn't until like 200 pages that I really started getting invested. And I think that's because the main character, whose name ends up being Aiden, I don't think that's a spoiler, because he jumps into these different bodies and he adapts these different personalities, you don't get a sense of his personality. You don't know who he is. So it's kind of hard to want to root for him because you just don't know where he ends and his hosts start. So I think if you're willing to stick through with it, it's a really good read. I completely understand though if it's not your cup of tea. I'm really interested to see what everybody else says tonight about it. But before then, I do need to clean the apartment. It is a train wreck. Sherlock wants to play fetch. Yeah, I need to clean the house. I need to do a couple of like emails for work in preparation of tomorrow. And yeah, I think that's all. Also, when I said it had only murders in this building, I don't even know the title. It made it sound like I had watched that show. I had not watched that show. Don't believe everything you hear on the internet, folks. But I did start watching it because I thought, I just mentioned it. Maybe I should actually give it a try. And it's really fun already. I'm really digging the kind of quirky comedy mystery angle to it. Have you watched it? Let me know if it's good or I should keep on watching. Marla. I realize you all haven't met Marla, I don't think. Oh, nope. She didn't want to keep having fun. Marla, come here. Marla does not like taking walks, so you probably haven't seen her because Connor takes her out to play disc golf instead. But this is Marla. Okay, now I need to vacuum, which is why the vacuum's out. I found who I am as a professor in this show.
Where the fuck is everyone standing? You see these chairs? What do you think they might be for? Come on, come on. This won't take long unless you make it take long.
Especially these days.
Okay, the consensus is in. Most people rated it between a 3 and a 4. They shared almost the exact same sentiments as I did, where it took quite a while to get into, or at least, from the beginning, how many times can I say from the beginning, it immediately draws you in the sense that like you don't know what's going on, and none of us predicted the end. I mean, it really caught everybody off guard. But it was one of those that you couldn't really stop and come back to. You had to just commit to reading as much as you can and as quickly as you can, because by stopping and starting, you start losing track of who's doing what the characters are. I mean, there's a my book is in my bag and I don't feel like getting it, but there's a list of the characters on the invitation at the beginning, and most of us were flipping back through to see, and there were quite a lot of questions we had at the end of how things actually worked, you know, because there's a lot of time travel questions, but that was with every book that does time travel, doesn't it? I don't know. But yeah, it was a good book club, and I'm glad you got to read this book along with me in a way. Let me know if you've read it and what you thought, and if it agrees or disagrees with what I've had to say. I will see you all next week. Thank you so much for watching.